Hello everybody and welcome back to the TimeShot server with me, Star. How are you all doing on this fine day? Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. It's been a little while since I didn't even see that message from Edson. I wasn't I wasn't recording at the time, wasn't on the server at the time. Subscribe to Cuckoo Doodles. Anyway, it's been a while since I've recorded on the TimeShot. I've had Ed visiting, who is my boyfriend, Ed Case, for those of you who don't know. Why is there a... What is... Why is... I don't know. Anyway, it's been a little while since I've recorded, and that's because I've had Ed round, and it's been holidays and Christmas and things like that, so I did like a bunch of recording before the holidays, but I haven't really done any afterwards, and it's been taking a little while for me to get back into the swing of things. I've done a TimeShot stream, but I haven't actually recorded anything yet, so I thought I'd start off the new year. I'm a little bit sick, if you can't tell. I'm not really, like, sick yet. I'm not, like, too much of a coffee throat and things like that, but I'm definitely feeling like a little bit, like, you know, when you feel like really lethargic and really, like, I don't know how to describe it, like achy and worn down. Like, that's how I feel right now. Why is this so dark? Why is this so dark? So I might not be up to my full potential. Where's the moon? Oh, it's like only just gone midnight. Okay. You know what? Let's follow this path and we'll go find a cave somewhere along the way on this path. There we go. All right, we'll just keep running. So I thought I'd start off with, I wasn't sure what I should start off with my episode in the new year with. So I did a little poll on Twitter, and you guys wanted to see a Q&A with some caving. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going off caving, stock up with some materials. I've got an ender chest on me and things like that, so I can sort out all my materials and carry lots around with me. Hey, watch yourself. I'm just gonna be nice, and I've got a bunch of questions on Twitter from you guys. They're gonna be kind of New Year's-y themed, I guess. That's what I kind of asked for because I thought it'd be nice to have like a little bit more of a themed Q&A, because I'll probably end up doing Q&As in the future, but it's kind of nice to have one which is like related to a certain thing. So forgive me if it takes me a little while to put the questions. I've got them all on Twitter here, so I'm just going to be scrolling through Twitter as and when I go caving. So the very first, and I'm also going to be thinking of these on the spot because I haven't had any time to actually prep any of these questions. So this could be fun. There's also some repeats of questions. I'm going to try, if I remember, and cover who asked the questions, like if multiple people did, but if I forget a name, then I'm sure I'll see it as I go along. Anyway, first question to be tweeted at me comes from Edson, everyone's favorite resident pink panty wearer, asking, what's one moment of 2016 that you can remember laughing uncontrollably / he said historically. I'm guessing he means hysterically, unless it was like a historical moment, like it was so funny that it's just a moment in history now. But I'm guessing he means hysterically. Thank you, Edson. Oh, hi, there's a lot of skeletons here. There's not a lot of cave though, so I'm just gonna... Oh gosh, yo, get out here. Why is my frame rate so bad? Whoa, calm down, yo. If you could not, that'd be great, thank you. A moment laughing hysterically. Well, one of the first moments that came to mind, I mean, the thing is, I always have like, there's always nights, like, especially because I play Overwatch almost every single night, or Dead by Daylight or something with friends. There's always funny shenanigans that happen, like, every single night there. So, you know, there's always going to be great laughs then, and I'm sure there's probably moments that I'm forgetting or missing where there was a lot of uncontrollable laughing. I'm gonna have to mine some of this, by the way, because I don't have any coal for torches, so when I run out of torches I'm gonna need some coal. A moment that comes to mind was during Insomnia 58, which was a UK gaming festival, and it was a... Hold on, let me just close Discord here and see how there we go, and see how that goes. There we go. So it was during Insomnia 58, and it was maybe if I turn my render distance down as well. I think my render distance is up a little bit high. What is it at? Video settings, render. Oh yeah, that's pretty high. Let's change this to like 14 chunks for now. We don't need big chunks while we're caving. And at Insomnia this year, there was a few people from the Brits and Butts team. So there was we were all kind of in 2 hotel rooms within the same hotel. So it was me, Edson, and Fred, who some of you might know Fred. He's kind of in the sort of Edson community, my community, TimeShot community, and Quentin, who's one of our friends. He's French, and we'd always go back to our hotel room after like every night of insomnia, you know, after hanging out with people or like pub quiz and things like that. And I remember like we were just chilling. We were like, oh, what should we do? Our hotel was kind of a little bit far out from the convention center. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as it was in my last insomnia, but it was still pretty far out. And we were just like looking for things to do. And I came across these like absolutely terrible quizzes, like the worst, like what Twilight character are you, BuzzFeedy, like we had what dessert are you kind of quizzes, and we were just lying on the bed and we were like each taking it in turns to answer a quiz. And I think it's because we were very sleep deprived, and we'd been drinking a little bit, and we were just, you know, it was just all of us together just having a fun time. We were all really happy, but it just set me off into such hysterics, like all of the quizzes that we were answering, like Edson being a Twilight character and what pudding each of us were and things like that. Like it's unfortunately one of those moments that you kind of had to be there for. So I feel like it's a little bit of a lame answer, but honestly, I can also think of a lot of moments in series like the Forest. Like the Forest is such a fun series. There's always so many funny things that happen in that. I feel like there's been a lot of Overwatch moments, especially salty Overwatch moments, but I think it's a good reflection, even though I know 2016 has been a difficult year for a lot of people, myself included. I think it's a great thing when when a question is like, what's the best moment, like what's the funniest moment, and I can honestly, or like not the best, I guess Edson just asked for one moment, but like I can't even bring them to mind because there's just so many. But hanging out with friends IRL, like internet friends IRL, always gonna be so many laughs. Like it's always so much fun. There's always guaranteed to be like hysterical laughter. So honestly, probably any moments when I'm hanging out with someone IRL. So yeah, thank you for that question, Edson. Second question. Now this is a question that was asked by two people. So it was asked by Dee Does Games, and it was also asked by Baker Bell. And the question is, what's your favorite of all the 12 Days of Crimbo videos you made? So for context, for those of you who didn't watch those, the 12 Days of Crimbo series, for those of you who don't know, I'm into video editing in a big way. I want to go into post-production and video editing in that kind of ground. And so I challenged myself to do a little. I haven't really done many projects this year, if any. As by many, I mean any. Not really any big video projects. And even though they weren't big video projects, I challenged myself to do a little mini video project every day for the 12 days of Christmas. So from the 25th of December to the 5th of January. And I'm not getting very lucky with these caves here, am I? And what is that? Is weird, but okay. It's like some trees got chopped down, I guess. Somebody chops. I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, I did 12 little mini video projects. And this is freaky. What is with these? Hello? Chunks, are you okay? Are you feeling all right today? You sure about that, buddies? Okay. Is this a cave? Is this a cave worthy of my time? Hello? Yeah? No, not really. I'll get this iron though. So they're all very different. Some of them were like one of them was like a stop motion Lego one, so that was like kind of like more like animation. Some of them were like music video-y kind of things. Some were, you know, some had me in them. In fact, I think most of them, if not all of them, featured me. Some were very soundscapey, and some were very much based on visuals. Some had like poetry or stories written in them. Some were more like conversations. So they're all very, very different. And each of them had a different prompt that viewers suggested on Twitter. And I asked people to like tell me which ones of theirs were their favorites. And so now people are throwing the question back at me and asking which one is my favorite. Now, I guess this is kind of more for if you've seen the video. So if I were you, I'd go watch them because I worked very hard on them, and it'd be nice if people could watch them. But also, at the very least, maybe watch the 3 that I'm about to mention, because there's 3 very different ones. Like, because you say, you guys asked which is my favorite, and favorite can mean a bunch of different things. So I'm interpreting this kind of 3 different ways. So the one I had the most fun with was definitely Discombobulate, which was the Lego stop motion one, which was the 12th day, the final day. That was just so much fun and so different from what I normally do. I had an absolute blast, and I was like smiling all the way through editing it. So that's definitely always going to hold a special place in my heart. It was so much fun even just finding the right Lego pieces to make sort of Lego figurines of me and Ed, and then we had to like wear clothes that were similar to that was just so much fun. I think the one I probably feel proudest of, I think the one I can relate the most to is probably Trains. So I think that holds a special place in my heart too, because it's about like change and crossroads and making decisions and things like that. And I feel like I'm at a real crossroads in my life right now, with job hunting and lots of other kind of things, background things, IRL things, and decisions to make, and futures to decide and things like that. So the whole idea behind Trains was kind of about that decision and whether you make that decision or whether you take a different route, and you can kind of see the potential different ways you could go. So I definitely relate to that one probably the most. I think I also really liked Burgundy, which was all about kind of life beating you down, and when you're like, in the case of the video, it was me like exercising and out jogging, and I trip and fall. And again, that's quite relatable to me right now. Like, I go out jogging, and this exact same field that I go jogging in the video. And I go jogging therapeutically a lot of the time. It's very therapeutic to go and exercise when you're feeling beaten down by life. And so I think I really relate to that one as well, probably almost as much as Trains. So I feel like Trains is a bit more of a deeper meaning. This is a crazy cave complex. I think we found our cave, hopefully. I hope so. So I think those 3 are my favorites, but I like a lot of them for a lot of different reasons. Like I think the only one, this is kind of secrets, the only one I was unhappy with was probably Water. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to at all, and it was very rushed, and I only had like a day to write the actual poem in it. There's no cave behind this. And I just didn't like it at all, and I really wish I had a swimming pool because a little bath is not really, much to go on, and I looked like a Muppet, and I don't know, I didn't really like it. This is not turning out to be the cave that we wanted. I'm being let down. Please say this leads down somewhere. Hey, you know what, Skelly? You can just... Hey. There we go. So I think Water was probably the one I was least happy with. Oops. But I was honestly happy with, like, all of them to at least a small extent. And I'm really proud of myself for completing that series. So I'm very, very happy with that. But those are my 3 favorites, I think. I got another question from Fizzbolt saying, what are you looking forward to the most in 2017? This might be a question which is asked by quite a few people. I'll call them out as and when I scroll up in Twitter to find them. But for now, I'll answer Fizzbolt. So what am I looking forward to the most? Ooh, well, I guess I'm definitely looking forward to hanging out with internet friends at Insomnia again. And there's a bunch of people going to Insomnia this year. Like a bunch of people, and like a lot of community members as well, and I am so excited. Not the one in spring, the one in summer. Insomnia 61, is it? I think it's 61. I'm looking forward to that so much because Insomnia 58 that just went by last summer was so much fun. Like, I had an absolute blast there. Like, probably the most fun I've ever had at a convention. Although Minecon was very different because Minecon was very, very action-packed, whereas Insomnia is always a lot more chill. But I'm really looking forward to that and Brits and Butts again. Like, it's like 2 weeks of hanging out with internet friends, basically, and it's always so much fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm, I guess, less looking forward to because who knows where life will take me and if this will happen, but I'm really hoping I can, like, move out and kind of move on with my life in terms of, like, job-related things. So I'm looking forward to having the option of doing that in the new year and just generally growing more as a person by having, like, a proper industry job. So that's kind of something which it's not so much looking forward to, it's hopefulness, I guess, but I'd definitely say the thing I'm most... And Zeldathon as well. I really want to make it to Summer Zeldathon. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to actually happen at the moment, but I'm really hoping it does because I miss my Zeldathon friends. And Zeldathon just went by in the winter, and I didn't I wasn't there obviously, and I was so sad. It was so sad watching Zeldathon and seeing everybody there that I know and love, and I wasn't able to be there with them. So just generally, like, travel, and like, I love America. I loved going to America, and I really want to go back again. I miss it a lot. I don't think I'd ever want to live there again, but I definitely miss it a lot. Hi Babby, I can hear you hurting yourself. Don't hurt yourself, Babby. So I'm definitely looking forward to those things the most, I think. Next question from Christy Koo, aka Kookadoodles. Is 2017 the year to subscribe to Kookadoodles or style like Kookadoodles? So for context, Chris, I bought an amazing coat the other day. Like, I've been looking for a proper good winter coat for a long time, and I finally found the perfect coat. And then Christy tweeted at me being like, "Oh, we have the same coat," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I accidentally, unknowingly, I was like, "Yes, the perfect coat." Oh, Christy has it too. Okay, but it's fine because Christy's like a guru, a fashion guru, so I don't mind. But everyone should subscribe to Kookadoodles. Hashtag subscribe to Kookadoodles. Next question is from Broski Ben, which says, which Friends character do you relate to the most? I think, I always used to like Rachel the most. As a Friends character, but in terms of actually relating, like, I've definitely grown apart. I've grown apart from Rachel over the years. Just like watching Friends when I was younger and then watching Friends now. It's definitely changed a bit. I really find myself, it sounds kind of weird, but I really feel like I relate a lot to Chandler because he has pretty, like, all things considered, he has like pretty low self-esteem and he makes a lot of jokes, but I feel like, a lot of the time it's kind of like self-deprecating jokes and kind of hides like, a bit of inner turmoil. He's very like socially awkward and he's always kind of like the fun person that everyone likes to hang out with, but I feel like he's sometimes put to the side a little bit in terms of like life cutting him a break and things like that. So weirdly, I feel like I relate to Chandler the most. I relate to Monica a little bit as well. Again, she's kind of a socially awkwardy sort of person, so I do relate to her as well, but I think Chandler's probably the character who I relate to, thank you, the most. Next question is from Price Stevenson the fourth, and he asks, what big ideas or projects do you have for 2017? Which is his first question. He has a couple of questions. Okay, so big ideas or projects. Well, the main one, which I desperately want to get done so badly it hurts, and I'm so annoyed because I've just been so waylaid these past few months after graduating uni, which is annoying because I really wanted to get it done like before the end of this year, but it just ended up not happening. I need to have some blocks in my bar instead of ender pearls before I ender pearl into lava. But To the Moon, for those of you who don't know, To the Moon is a game. It's like a small indie game, which has just got a phenomenal storyline. Like, it's just such a good game. And I have adapted into a film, and I've already recorded all the voice acting, but I really need to get a move on with editing the sound, and then I need to get storyboard artists for it. If you can do art and you're interested in helping out, then, like, I'm going to be re-auditioning for storyboard artists soon, because it's been so long. I need to, like, availability of previous artists sort of changed, so I'm kind of needing to re-audition right now. So if you're interested, then by all means, keep an eye out on my channel, and keep an eye out on my Twitter if you follow me on Twitter, because I'll be asking after storyboard artists at some point. But that is the main project I really desperately want to get done. I'm also working on another video project on the side. It's more of a personal project. It's more arty and things like that, which it's been in the works for a little while, but I haven't really had a chance to work on it in a little bit. But there is another project in the works. I'm just not really, I haven't really had time to work on it much recently, but that's why I did things like the 12 Days of Crimbo, because then I can that gave me the opportunity to expand my portfolio a bit. But like job hunting and stuff always comes before like video projects, unfortunately. But yeah, I would say those are probably the two main projects I'm working on at the moment. I'd love to do another short film, like actually write a script and film a short film, like all done by me, because like the thing I have in mind is more of a music video arty thing, and then To the Moon's more like a feature-length film. But the idea I have in mind is just for like a very short film, maybe even a script I've written at uni, because there's a script that I really liked, but I need to get actors together for and things like that. So yeah, I definitely diamonds. I definitely want to try and get more of those projects done and do a lot more this year than I did last year. But also, like, it was my final year of uni, so that had to come first as well, obviously. So things just caught up on me a little bit, I guess. So there's a problem with my projects. And the second question from Price is, if you could be in one movie coming out in 2017, which one would it be? If I could be in one movie, that's a difficult one. You know, what films are coming out in 2017? I haven't really been paying much attention. Like, I tend to not try and spoil myself in any way for films. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to be very professional, and I'm going to look up films coming out in 2017. Let's Google while I record. Oh, Spider-Man. Oh. I mean, like, there's the new Guardians of the Galaxy. There's the new... You know what I would actually really, really like to be in? I'd love to be in the new Aliens film, which sounds weird, but I studied Aliens at uni a lot. Oh, they're making a Despicable Me 3. Oh, man. Despicable Me 2 was bad enough. No, sorry. I'm getting distracted. I think the new Alien film, what's it called? Alien, Covenant, because I love the Alien franchise, and like I've played the Alien Isolation game now, and even though it's like super spooky and creeping me out, like I just love the atmosphere, the retro-y, alien-y, futuristic atmosphere, and I love a good monster movie, and that's what Alien is. Alien's a monster movie, just like Jaws is a monster movie, just like, Godzilla's a monster movie. There is one big imposing threat. Well, I guess it depends on the Alien films, but the original Alien film, there was like one big imposing threat, and it's up to our main cast to try and either escape the threat or neutralize the threat. And I love monster movies, and I love the idea of having to like think your way out of situations and like fight your way out of situations and things like that. So it sounds kind of weird because you're kind of in danger a lot in the Alien films, but I think I'd really like that. So I'm gonna say the new Alien film. Okay, so next question is from Kezajos that says, number one thing you're hyped about for 2017. Well, I've kind of already said, oh gosh, I almost walked into that. I've kind of already said about seeing like internet friends IRL. But like in terms of other things I'm hyped for, I am hyped for the potential of getting a Hudson's Online, getting a proper job and like properly moving out. Like I am definitely hyped for getting my life started, getting a grip on life. Besides that, I'm really just looking forward to traveling more. I really want to try and travel more, especially to America again. Like I'm so excited to go back to America. So that might be my number one thing I'm excited for, going back, going to Zeldathon, seeing everyone, but also just being back in the country again, because it was so much fun traveling, especially by myself. I've never traveled on a plane by myself before until I traveled to Zeldathon last year. And it was really nice and really fun. I want to do it again because I like being independent, and that's one aspect of my life which I was never really that independent with or did by myself. So yeah, maybe traveling to America is probably my number one thing. Next question from Koda Otan asks, where would you like to see yourself at the end of 2017? Oh, well, I know exactly where I want to see myself, but it's kind of a bit of a sad topic for me at the moment because I'm feeling very demotivated at the moment about it, and I don't know whether I'll end up making it or not. But I would love to see myself in 2017 with a job. I'm not even that fussy. A job in the industry. I could still be a runner for all I care, and I don't really mind. Just a job in the industry that I'm fairly happy with, which still gives me the flexibility to do YouTube and streaming, so I'm still kind of growing my channel. So my channel's grown a little bit more, and I've grown a little bit more in terms of my skills and stuff, and maybe made a few new friends at the end of 2017. There's quite a few areas of my life I'm not very happy with at the moment, so like I'd like to make sure those are kind of improved upon a little bit as well. and like I moved out somewhere and living independently, and I'm happy where I am. Because I guess one of my worries is that I'm going to move out and then I'm just going to be really lonely. My family are really big on family time. Like we always have, you know, lunch and dinner together, or almost always at least have lunch and dinner together, and you know, we do a lot of family days out and things like that. So my family are definitely super big into family time. So moving out, like when I went to university, I found it incredibly lonely at first because I was so used to having my family around all the time. It was so weird to kind of get away from them and then not have them around to just talk to or anything. So I want to be, I mean, I say this every year, and this is something that will never change every year. I want to be happy by the end of the year. I want to be content with how the year's gone, and it breaks my heart to say this, but like I didn't feel that at the end of this year, and it might even be the first year. Maybe last year was a bit funky as well, but I'm pretty sure that this year was like the first time I've ever really properly felt like this has not gone the way I wanted this year. Like there were so many good memories. There were some fantastic memories, some really great times, and I've done. Ow, bro! Can you just not for a minute? Okay, good. Like there have been some fantastic memories and fantastic moments, and I have, you know, I've strengthened so many relationships with people, and I've made a bunch of new friends as well, and got to meet people who I haven't met before IRL. I've got to, you know, collab and be a part of so many different, you know, groups and opportunities I never thought I'd get. You know, I've traveled and things like that. Like there's been so many great things this year, but I think the first 2/3 of this year, maybe even half of this year, just was 100% awesome, and then the final like third was like 10%. Like it's just been a really rough last quarter / third of the year, and I really want to make sure next year doesn't go the same way that this year kind of ended. So I think above everything, I want to make sure that I end next year just happy with where I am. Like I don't like, you know, right, you know, I was saying like I'd like to have a job in the film industry, but who knows, maybe I'll get a completely different job that has nothing to do with film. But you know what, if I'm super happy with that job and I'm like I found my calling, or like, you know what, I can't believe I didn't even think about getting a job like this before, but actually now that I've got it, I'm really happy. Like if I end up like that, that's fantastic. I don't really mind as long as I am happy, genuinely happy with where I am, like, and that I've grown and changed a bit as a person, so I can look back on the year and think, look at this stuff that's changed, look at what I've done this year, that kind of thing. So, oh, hi, Mr. Enderman. So I guess that's the kind of the ideal. Ow. 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 I was kind of scared I was gonna sword swipe that Enderman there. You know what, I'm just gonna shoot you. Get out of my life. There we go. Thank you, Coda. Let me just scroll up a little bit more. Where is the next question? There's a gift from Dave with Jar Jar Binks, of course. Okay, so I've got one from Asha Lily. Which is, it's quite an interesting question. I don't see many people ask this question. A lot of people always ask like favorite memory, or, you know, like what are you gonna do next year and things like that. And those are all great questions as well. But this is actually a really good question because I just haven't seen many people ask this. Ashley asked, what is one thing 2016 has taught you, whether it be good or bad? And that's a difficult one, I think. That's tough. It's a great question, but it's really tough to answer. There's like a few things I can think of, but if I wanted to kind of narrow it down to more like one thing, I think, I think if it's taught me anything, it's that it's okay. Like, not even that it's okay, but if it's taught something about me, I guess it's more a thing which I need to improve on. So it's not necessarily, it's a good thing I know this, but it's a bad thing because I need to work on this. But I need to learn to accept help from people more. And it stems from, you know, things like I'm having a bad day and a friend wants to cheer me up and I feel like I need to deal with it by myself, or I don't talk to people about if I'm sad, and if so, why I'm sad. Like, I just tend to bottle things up a lot of the time. But also things like, you know, job hunting. And, you know, my dad especially really helps me a lot with, like, CVs and applications and things like that. And I take every kind of help as an attack, I think, because I feel like I think that my dad thinks that I can't do it. You know, like, every time he's like, you should do it like this, or like, why don't you try this on your CV? I'm thinking that he's thinking, it's not good enough. You're not good enough. You know, you didn't do this right, so I'm going to tell you how to do it now. And in all fairness, sometimes that is the case. But a lot of the time, it's just him genuinely wanting to help out. And I get all tearful, and I get so upset because it's a really sensitive topic, because I'm just so miserable looking for jobs at the moment. And I need to learn to accept help from people and not feel like I have to do things by myself, and if I don't do things by myself, then that makes me weak, or that makes me a bad person, or that means that I'm not, you know, good enough. Like, it's everybody needs help, and it's so stupid because I'm a person that a lot of my friends go to for help, and that's not me trying to brag or big myself up or say I'm good at giving advice. Like, I genuinely think, and I feel kind of stupid saying this, especially now at my age, but when I was younger, I always used to act fairly mature for my age. And, you know, like, I was at one point one of the youngest members in Godiva. I still am one of the youngest members in Godiva, actually, now that I think about it. But I'm not the youngest. I thought I was the youngest for a while, but I'm not. But the point is, Can you not? Bye. When I was about 19, 18, something like that, a lot of the Godiva ladies, if they didn't know me too well, they thought I was, like, the age I am now, like 22, 23, because of the way that I acted. And I think having online friends, especially those who are a little bit older than me, they've seen a lot more and they've had a lot more rough experiences. In fact, a lot of people online, regardless of age, have had a lot of rough experiences. So I've talked to and experienced a lot of, like, you know, bad things with people, in the sense of, like, you know, I just realized there's a lot of bad out there, and there's a lot of difficult things that people have gone through. And I think I'm just very good at, like, sympathizing with that and understanding and not judging when it comes to those kind of things. So I think that makes me a good listener and makes me someone who's quite good to talk to about things. And I think I'm very hesitant a lot of the time because I'm very underconfident, which means that when I offer advice to people, I'm not one of those people who tends to force advice on people. I tend to kind of more offer it as, like, options, and I think people tend to like that because they don't feel like they're being told what to do. It's just a friend who's literally just offering, you know, advice on something, and, you know, regardless of whether that advice is taken or not, they are there to support. And I think that's why a lot of people like to talk to me. So, you know, it's dumb because I feel like I help and talk to a lot of people on even, like, a daily basis. And yet, when it comes to my own stuff, I'm so bad at accepting help from people. I guess in a way, me helping a lot of people almost is a reason why, because I guess sometimes I feel like because I'm this person who's kind of being big and strong for a lot of people I know, I've got to keep being big and strong. And if I'm getting beaten down by something or I'm struggling with something, that means I'm weak. And, you know, why would people want help from someone who also needs help? But that's stupid. And I think we all need help at some point in our lives, whether it's just somebody who you need to talk to for a bit, or whether it's genuine proper help from, like, a therapist or a counselor or a doctor, or whether it's, you know, monetary help where someone needs to lend you money. Like, regardless of what kind of help it is, I think everybody at some point in their life needs help. And I kind of just, 2016, there's been a lot of times where I've kind of realized that I've been rejecting help from people when I really should be accepting it. And, like, you know, people have been genuinely like, if you want to talk to me, I'm here. And I'm always like, yeah, I know. But then I just don't take them up on that offer. because I don't want to accept help. And yeah, that's definitely something I know I need to work on more heading in 2017. So the year has taught me that. I'm still not quite learnt my lesson yet. It's definitely something I'm working on, and it's just a part of my character, I guess. Like, it's a part of who I am, so I find it it's quite a difficult thing to change. But I'm getting there, slowly but surely, and, you know, by the end of 2017, hopefully I will be more than willing to take people up on that offer, just as people are willing to take me up on the offer to help them. So, yeah, thank you for the question, Asher Lily. Creeper Cam has thrown a couple questions at me. 3 questions. First one, who is your favorite video game character? That's super tough. That's really, really tough. Like, I kind of wish I had prepped this question beforehand, because I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of different diverse characters out there. I honestly do. No, almost made it. Aw, dang it, man. I honestly don't think I could pick a favorite. Like, genuinely, there's a lot of good characters out there. There's a lot of good villains, but then there's also a lot of good heroes. So I think picking one is gonna be super tough. A more recent one that I've liked, and it seems kind of silly, is Tracer in Overwatch. And it sounds kind of stupid at first, but my logic behind it is that she's, like, especially if you watch some of the videos and the lore and stuff, she's been through, like, a lot of stuff. Like, she's been through, like, points where she was basically invisible to the world because of, like, time and science and things like that, and, like, a freak science accident. And she's so cheerful all the time and so fun, and she's trying to make the world a better place and help people. And I can honestly relate to, not the science accident thing, but generally just, like, trying to be a positive person and a positive influence on the world whilst, you know, maybe hurting or going through troubles but not letting it get you down, like that kind of thing. Like, I can really relate to that, weirdly. And I feel stupid even saying Tracer is one of the characters that, you know, is one of my favorites, but I just think she's a really cool character. Come here, bro. Come here. I also really like, it's from one of my favorite video games, Nilin, who is the main female protagonist in Remember Me, because she's someone who's woken up and lost everything. Like, she's lost her memory. She remembers her name, and that's, like, it. And she's immediately thrown into a world where all of these people claim to be her friends and claim to be on her side and tell her what to do, and she kind of starts following them, but then she kind of begins to question that and begins to, you know, think for herself more and really try to piece together her past and her memories. And she's such a strong character, even though she's weak in a lot. She's, well, not weak, but vulnerable in a lot of ways. And I think she's just so interesting as a character and so well done. And she's got incredible physical strength, but she's very emotionally weak in a sense, or vulnerable, again, I guess is the better word to describe it. And I just found her so interesting, so she's definitely one of my favorite characters. I'm getting way too high up. I'm not going to find diamonds up here. So I'd say that's one of my favorite video game characters. What is one New Year goal you have? I've talked about a bunch of these already. I haven't touched upon this one, however, and it's kind of a cliche New Year goal, I think. A lot of people say this, but I really, really, really want to lose weight. And this was a New Year goal last year, and I've, like, slacked so much this year because it was my final year of uni, and I've been going through a lot of hard times, and I've gained more weight this year instead of losing it, which was my resolution last year. I don't really set resolutions properly. I just kind of have in mind for where I kind of want to be at the end of the year, roughly. And again, like, where I want to be is just happy, and I'm not happy with how I look right now, and I've weighed the most I've ever weighed in my life, and I hate looking in a mirror and hating how I look, and it's all very cliche, and I know lots of people say that, but, like, it's an extreme demotivator, and it sucks that it's an extreme demotivator because you need to be motivated in order to work hard and exercise and eat healthy and live healthy. And, you know, when you're demotivated because of how you look, it just turns into a vicious circle. So I definitely want to be losing weight and just getting more fitter in general. And I've actually set myself, I guess this is kind of my resolution or my mini goal. Last year when I was at uni, a bunch of my friends ran the 10K marathon in Manchester. And I was so proud of them, and they did so well, and they all managed to complete it, and I was so happy for them. And watching them, I was like, I want to be able to do that too. So my kind of resolution / goal for the year is to be able to run that 10K, and it's going to take a lot of exercise and a lot of work. Like, I've already started setting myself mini goals for it, but it's still going to take a hell of a lot of work. But I think that's probably the most clear-cut resolution / goal that I honestly have in mind, like, to be able to run that marathon, because it's a set distance, it's, you know, got a set date to it, like, it's, you know, it's, that's it. That's, oh no, I just accidentally got rid of my water. But, like, you know, that's it, that's the time, that's the thing I have to do, and if I don't do it, where'd this creeper go? Oh, there he is. And if I don't do it, then, you know, like, that's clear cut. That's not, oh, I'll lose some weight by the end of the year. Like, that is actually, you know, that is the date, that is the goal. It's in May, I believe. I don't know if the date's actually been officially announced yet, but it was in May last time, I think. And if I don't meet it, then that's, you know, that's it. So I think having an actual solid date and goal in mind, and solid distance that I need to be able to run is going to be good for me, because I feel like I'm actually a lot more able to complete it. So I guess that's probably the most clear-cut resolution I have for myself coming into the new year. Is there anything good in here? There is not. There is. Oh my gosh, I need to put my ender chest down and get get some ore in here. Let's put let's put all this iron in here. Let's put these diamonds in here to keep them safe. There we go, and then we can pick this up in here. Oh gosh, this pick is so slow. Why is my silk touch pick so slow? It needs some efficiency. It has no efficiency on it. We need to get some efficiency on it. Stat. I'll take these torches as well. I actually need more torches. Let's take a second to make some torches. And what is your favorite moment of 2016? I guess this has already kind of been asked, but I've already talked about conventions and hanging out with friends and stuff. I think one of my favorite moments in actual, like, Insomnia is just so striking to me in terms of, like, you know, in terms of it being one of my favorite weekends. Zeldathon too, but I think out of those two, my favorite moment was at Insomnia, and it was the last night when we got a meal for everyone. We booked a meal, and it was no, not that. No. Actually, the pub quiz. The pub quiz was so much fun. And you know what? I have been to a few Insomnias now, and I've never managed to make it to the pub quiz. I've always ended up being just a little bit too late and getting in there with the tickets just as it, like, you know, the tickets have just sold out. So I actually managed to make it to the pub quiz this time, and it did not disappoint. It was so much fun. There was lots of drink to be had, and lots of food, and just lots of friends, and it was just genuinely such a good time, and there were so many smiles. I was just hanging out with some of my best friends, and it was just such a good night. Like, I wish I could go back to that night, because it was so much fun. But at the same time, I'm glad that you can't go back to moments like this, because otherwise they wouldn't be special if they were just, like, you know, if they were more than a one-time thing. But that was definitely probably my favorite bit of the whole of Insomnia. So I would say that is, yeah, I think that's probably my favorite moment, like, that night, that whole pub quiz night. Like, it was so nerdy, and there were so many silly questions, and nobody had a clue what was going on, and there was lots of free alcohol, and so many people were there that I knew, but I was at a table with new friends and old friends, and I just had an absolute blast. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, that was just the perfect night. It was just so much fun. Hey, get out of here. Thank you, good sir. Ordinary Orca asks, no lies. Is this my last question? I think this might be my last question. It is my last question. I think this is the perfect question to end on. No lies, no nonsense, just the truth. What's your opinion on Pavlova? It's not even a New Year themed question, but it's such a good one, and this cave's kind of run out, so this is the perfect time to end. I love pavlova. I really, really love pavlova. It's a great pudding. It's very sugary, but it's also got that fruit in. It's the perfect balance of like the soft taste of cream mixed with the tart taste of fruit mixed with the sugary taste of meringue, and it's just a great pudding. And I'm very excited to, oh my gosh, there's so many things in here. I'm very excited to make, look, I found this whole new cave complex. What the hell? I'm trying to end the episode here, guys. And I can't wait to try the pavlova surprise that Pudsey got me. I don't think that Australian tasting video is going to be out yet, so you guys are in for a treat. Make sure you catch it on my channel. Pudsey sent me a load of Australian food. Pudsey and Janome did, and I'm very excited to try it. I love pavlova. Pavlova is great. Don't ever think I don't like it. I just didn't like it as a prompt for my 12 Days of Creepo series. Sorry, Pudsey. Love your face, really. Oh no, I have no water. Dang it. Okay, anyway, I think I'm going to end this here, and maybe I'll cave a little bit more off camera, but thank you guys so much for all of the questions. I really appreciate it for this New Year's themed Q&A. I'll probably do another Q&A that's themed at some point. I don't know what, but I'll probably ask on Twitter for questions, so if you don't follow me on Twitter already, make sure you give a follow. And yeah, I hope you guys have had a lovely New Year and lovely holidays, and I hope you guys, you know, are also looking forward to the new year. Let me know in the comments. Why don't you let me know in the comments one thing that went well for you or that you liked in 2016? Because 2016 was a rough year for the world in general, but I know personally a lot of my friends had a kind of rough year. So tell me one good thing about it, whether it was your favorite moment, whether it was meeting someone new or trying a new experience or anything. Tell me a good thing about 2016, because there will always be at least one good thing. You were always going to at least smile once, and tell me what it was that made you smile. And tell me something that you're looking forward to potentially happening or doing in 2017. Doesn't have to be a resolution, not something that you're aiming to do, just something you're looking forward to. Maybe like, I'm going to try this new sport, or I'm going to meet up with a friend I haven't met before, I'm going to try and go to this convention, or maybe I'm going to try and play this new game. Anything. Just let me know those two things in the comments. I would absolutely love to read them and have you share them with everyone. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's quite a long Q&A, and it went a little bit ranty at some points, but I hope it was still interesting. And I will see you guys in the next video, where we'll probably do some update on how the nether progress is coming along. You guys saw a little sneak peek there, but it'll probably be a little bit more done by the time I record the next episode, and I will see you then. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.